Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're looking at something that is frankly just completely fascinating. We aren't just reading through a text document here, we're actually reverse engineering an architectural blueprint. We're going to look at a single incredibly dense AI prompt that was specifically designed to generate a premium, full-length educational course on Nmap. Now, if you know Nmap, you know it's basically the ultimate X-ray machine that cybersecurity pros used to scan and map computer networks. But what we're really looking at today is a masterclass in how to engineer context, persona, and curriculum right out of thin air, literally turning artificial intelligence into a master educator.
Okay, let's dive into this, because 27 is the exact number of highly specific premium requirements packed into this one single prompt. The creator didn't just go to the AI and say, hey, write a course about Nmap. No, they gave it a 27-point checklist that leaves absolutely zero room for a generic, boring output. Every single bullet point acts like a structural pillar, forcing the AI to build a comprehensive, multi-layered educational experience.
So here's our roadmap for today's explainer. First, the ultimate course blueprint. Second, crafting the expert persona. Third, core technical curriculum. Fourth, career and industry context. And finally, interactive learning and assessment.
Let's kick things off with Section 1, the ultimate course blueprint, architecting a masterclass. To truly understand why this prompt is so devastatingly effective, we have to see how it architects this masterclass from the ground up. Notice the stark contrast right out of the gate. The core topic is just 3 words, right? Nmap Complete Guide. But the requested format is a massive, highly detailed 30 to 60-minute script. And this is really the first genius move of the prompt. It takes a highly specific, narrow technical topic and demands a massive scale of output. By dictating a long-form format immediately, it prevents the AI from just spitting out a surface-level summary, and instead, it forces a deep, expansive exploration of the topic.
And this brilliantly illustrates one of the absolute hardest things to achieve in education, which is serving both ends of the expertise spectrum at the exact same time. On one side, the prompt explicitly demands that the AI explain everything in very simple English so that beginners can actually understand it. But on that very same checklist, it requires professional workflow and industry best practices. It's commanding the AI to bridge the gap, to simplify the language without dumbing down those professional-grade concepts. It is a tricky tightrope walk for sure, but the prompt structures it perfectly.
Moving right along to Section 2, crafting the expert persona, 20 years of experience.
You know, before the prompt even asks for a single piece of curriculum, it does something absolutely crucial. It establishes a dominant, authoritative voice. I'm going to read this exactly as it's written in the source. You are a senior cybersecurity engineer, ethical hacker, SOC analyst, penetration tester, digital forensics expert, cloud security architect, malware analyst, and instructor with over 20 years of experience. Wow. That is basically asking the AI to simulate a combined 160 years of human career experience. By stacking 8 distinct elite cybersecurity roles on top of each other, backed by 2 decades of theoretical and practical experience, it forces the AI's internal parameters to instantly discard any generic entry-level phrasing and instead adopt the nuanced, battle-tested tone of a seasoned industry veteran.
Next up is Section 3, core technical curriculum, building the technical foundation.
Now that we have our veteran ready to speak, how is the actual educational scaffolding built? So the crucial point here is that the prompt refuses to let the AI rely on just one single teaching style. It breaks the technical requirements down into 3 rigid categories. Conceptually, it demands complete theory backed by real-world examples. Visually, it explicitly asks for visual explanations and even text format diagrams, literally forcing spatial learning. And for the hands-on component, it mandates practical demonstrations, live labs, and a focus on common mistakes. This guarantees the output isn't just a dry manual, but a dynamic, multimodal lesson that hits every single learning style.
Which brings us to Section 4, career and industry context, beyond the command line. This is where the prompt really elevates the output from a simple technical tutorial into a full-fledged career guide. The creator understands that we don't just learn tools for fun, right? We learn them to advance our careers. So the prompt forces the AI to map the technical knowledge directly to a real-world career progression. It demands that the curriculum cover how this knowledge applies to certifications, how a freelancer would actually use it in client projects, the specific interview questions you might face regarding the tool, and ultimately, the salary information and future scope of the skill. It anchors all that theoretical knowledge to tangible, real-world value.
And to see just how specific this gets, we can look at the exact certifications the prompt demands the AI integrate into the lesson. We're talking about the CEH, or Certified Ethical Hacker, alongside CompTIA Security Plus, PNPT, the highly respected OSCP, and the CSISP. By forcing the AI to tie the Nmap lesson to these specific, elite industry benchmarks, it ensures that the resulting curriculum actually meets the rigorous standards of global cybersecurity organizations.
Furthermore, the prompt actively fights against the curriculum becoming outdated. It specifically demands the inclusion of modern industry context. The AI must explain the professional workflow, integrate how AI tools are currently relating to the topic, and discuss the latest cyber attacks. This is a real game changer because it guarantees the script won't just regurgitate old textbook data. Instead, it situates the Nmap tool squarely in today's rapidly shifting threat landscape.
Let's wrap up the structure with Section 5, Interactive Learning and Assessment, Cementing the Knowledge.
It's one thing to present information, but it's a whole other thing to ensure the learner actually retains it. Let's move to Gavo and see how this builds the critical post-lesson engagement. The prompt doesn't let the lesson just fade out. No, it mandates a rigorous architecture of review and application. On the review side, it requires a summary, homework, and a highly specific 20-question quiz. On the application side, it demands both a mini project and a full project along with professional references. This right here is the difference between passive listening and active, cemented learning.
As we wrap up this analysis, we have to look at the prompt's ultimate closing directive. It states, the lesson should be detailed enough to produce a professional YouTube educational video. This is the North Star for the AI. Every single one of the 27 points we just explored, the 20-year expert persona, the multimodal technical curriculum, the career roadmaps, the 20-question quizzes, all of it was engineered to serve this singular goal. It really is a masterclass in using constraint and extreme specificity to extract professional-grade value from artificial intelligence.
Which leaves us with a truly fascinating question to ponder. We've just seen how a few paragraphs of carefully engineered text can command an AI to successfully adopt a 20-year veteran persona and blueprint an elite, multi-layered, highly practical curriculum. If a single prompt can architect this level of premium engaging education instantly, what is the future scope of human instructors? It's definitely something to think about. Thanks for joining me on this explainer and keep learning.